It is a webinar where we are going to have the participants being involved. So you who are watching this can at the same time send a code on the microbit simulator. And today I have Rasmus here with me. He is my co-host. Here we have him. Hello, Rasmus.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
So Rasmus has been here for over 6 months, 8 months or something like that. And if you have seen him, you have probably seen him on Twitter, so make sure to follow him there. He is constantly posting, and it's very fun to actually follow him to see what's new thing that is happening at the office. Before we start, I'd also like to just introduce what is Strawbiz. So Strawbiz is this hands-on tool. Looks like this. I have different things around me, but you can build basically whatever you like to build. So it's up to you to be as creative as possible. However, we also have lessons that are curriculum aligned, where you find inspirations, but also can follow the curriculum. So different stuff you can do. You can build things that move, so mechanical movements. You also have the options to add coding to Strawbiz and the construction system. And it could look something like this. So this is a crane, and we have a lessons around this crane. So the students will first build this crane, and then they're going to focus on coding microbit and adding servo motor to it using our device called robotic invention for microbit. So that is an extension that we have created for the microbit. So it enables it more or less to use it together with the servo motors, as you can see here. If I have the time, I will probably do some coding with it to see how the microbit and Strawbiz is interacting with each other. But this webinar is going to be mainly focusing on the microbit. So how to get started with the microbit. So perhaps you have some experience with the microbit, or you don't have any experience, and that is fine. Before I start sharing my screen, Rasmus, perhaps you could send us the make code URL in the chat, so people who like to code with me. Perfect, thank you. So this, I think it one more time. So this mini computer that's called the microbit is actually something that is the BBC, the network, has come up with, more or less. And they are everywhere in Europe, and they started to be everywhere in the US as well. And I absolutely love this device. It's quite simple. It's very fun to get started. Often what you experience is that you or the students, they learn quite quick with this, and then they want to move over to something extra, some sort of extension to this device here. And that is where we come in, Strawbiz. So I start with showing my screen here. Here. So if you see the same that I am presenting here now, you can go to a new project. This is basically where I'm at to start with, is MakeCode. So MakeCode is the software where you're actually doing the coding for the microbit. And that is something that Windows or Microsoft has built. So it's a Microsoft product. I will name my first my code here to Strawbiz Heart Microbit. You can name it whatever you like to name it. And then let's see here. So the first thing that we are going to do is a blinking heart. It's very simple and straightforward process. So the goal for us is to make a blinking heart being displayed here on the microbit. And if you look to the left here, you see the microbit, the simulator. So you don't need to have a microbit to get started here. So if you want to test this out with students without even purchasing the microbit, you can do so by just going to MakeCode and start coding here, and look how it will look or be presented before you downloading the code to your microbit device. So the first thing that we are going to do is a blinking heart that is going to be presented here on the screen. And to present something on the screen to begin with, you can go to the basic here and you can drag out this one that shows LEDs. And I can, draw whatever I like to draw here. And then I can present it here under the on start block. And as you can see, now you see the symbol that I have drawn here. It's been shown. So basically what this on start block says is that when I'm starting the microbit, show this what I have drawn here. But now when I'm going to make something blink and I'm going to make a heart blink, the first thing I am going to think is like this. How do I show something that is blinking on the microbit display? First, I would like the microbit to display a big heart. So a big heart is going to be displayed, and then a small heart is going to be displayed, which means that it's going to look like it's blinking. So we can start with that. So go to basic again, and I'll drag this out, show icon. So what MakeCode has done is that they have created these symbols that is already pre-coded into the block. So I can choose from different symbols here if I like to. And if I start this up now, it should display heart. And then I can go back to symbols again, and I can drag this block here. And now I'm choosing a smaller heart. And what we will see here is that, yes, I managed to create a big heart and a small heart being presented when the block here on start. So when I am starting the microbit, show a big heart, then show a small heart. So going like this. But I would like it to blink. So I am going to drag this over to the forever instead, which means that this is going to do it forever. So it's going to repeat what I have done. So big heart, small heart, which appears to make a blinking heart. So very easy to get started with that. Then what I would like to do as well is to show that you can do this with inputs like when I press the A button on the microbit or B button on the microbit. So I just want to explain that shortly. It's the microbit has a different kind of inputs that you can give it. So it's like pressing bottom A, pressing bottom B. It even has a touch screen up here, as you can see when I hover over here, it's being displayed. That is for the new microbit that has it. It also have sensors like taking temperature, so that the microbit device can take temperature, and it even has a speaker and a microphone, the new one, the newest version. But I am going to start with an input that is simple. When I'm pressing the bottom A, let's see here, like that, this is going to be shown. Just you get the principles here. Like that. Here, the same situation happens as when we had the blocks on the on start. What I can do is I can go to loops, and then I can use a block called repeat. And do like this instead. And I can decide. So now what happened is that when I'm pressing, so nothing is being displayed at the moment because I am given the input of pressing the bottom A. So when I'm pressing it here, it's going to blink 4 times over because I said it to repeat 4 times over. Then what you also can have, which is what I like to do, is that now it's showing the smallest heart in the end. But if you go to basic, you can actually go to this one and add this in as a clear screen. Let's see, and then it's going to blink for 4 times, and then it's going to be clear. So this is a little fun to just experiment around with. Then the next thing that we are going to do is temperature, and I really like doing things with the temperature because it's you can do a lot of different experiments with, and it's kind of I really like it. Let me show you why. So the microbit has the ability to measure the temperature. So let's start with taking out the temperature block here. Now I have the ability to measure the temperature, but I also need to tell the microbit that it's going to be displayed on the microbit display here. So I go back to basic, and I take this one, show number. Press on there on start, and temperature. Move this away a little bit, like that. And this is, so if you give this to a student to like a problem to solve and say, hey, can you make the temperature being displayed on the microbit? And here they have it. So they managed to do the job or solve the problem. But that now you can talk to students and ask them more about like, let's say that you would like to take the temperature where you're on a specific location. So what will happen now is when I'm turning on the microbit the first time, it's more or less me putting in the battery cable into the microbit, then it's going to measure the temperature. So then the students may think like this, okay, so I am going to stand somewhere in the room and I'm going to take the temperature. How will I manage to do this? If I press button A, then the temperature is going to be displayed. So yeah, let's try that. So I go into input again and take out this block. And start it up. And then press A. So now the student has the ability to press the button A, go around in the room to measure the different temperatures in the room or outside or so on. Then perhaps you can ask the students to something like, how do you often see temperatures being displayed? And then they say something maybe like this, that often when I see the temperature is hanging on the wall, or it's somewhere hanging on the wall, and it's constantly showing what temperature it is. So you don't need to give it any input. It's just showing the current temperature, and then how do you manage to do that then? So then they have a new problem that they're going to solve. So just drag it under this block here forever. And now what is happening is that the microbit is going to display the temperature over again. As we can see here, I can mix with the temperature already because it's a simulator. So if I change it to 24, what we see now is that the temperature is 24 in this world. So it's very fun to experiment with this when it comes to the students and ask them these questions like or problems to solve to move one step forward and think how it's going to be used in daily in a life. Then what we're going to do now is that we are going to focus on an experiment. This experiment is a little bit more advanced. It's not that advanced, but it's a little bit more advanced. So what we will do is that we are going to, this is something I can tell the student as well, like, okay, can you take the average temperature in each corner of the room where you're sitting at? But how do you do this? So this is when it becoming a little bit more complicated. But the first thing that we want to do is that we are going to measure the temperature in 4 different corners in the room. And then we are going to add these numbers together. And then we're going to divide it by 4 times because, that is how we calculate average. So the first thing that they're going to do is that they're going to measure the temperature. So we go to, when I press in the bottom A, once again, I show the number, which is the temperature, like that, as we had it before. I can even remove this Like that. Then I would like the data that I have took in one of the corners to be stored somewhere, and they are going to be stored in a variable. So I have a variable here that I am going to name total temp, like that. What I've done now is I'm creating a variable where I would like to store data. So what will happen now is that, 1 second, this one as well. So what will happen now is that when I press in bottom A, it is first going to show the temperature. Then it's going to, when I press this one in here, it is going to store the temperature that I took into this variable that I created, right? And let's say that I would like to display this total temp variable on the microbit. Then I can do like this. I take second block here. I go into basics again, take show number. And this time I'm changing it to B. And then temperature like this. Oh, not that one. That. So let's try this out first before we move to next step. So basically what I've done here is that here I took the temperature. It presents as 21 Celsius. Then I am adding 1 Celsius there, taking the temperature again, 22. What has happened here is that the total temp variable has been added by 21 and 22. And if I press B here, it should display 43 because it added these two together. I cannot say obviously that this is 43 Celsius in the room, so that is not what it's saying. Just want to be clear with that. Then what I would like it to do instead is that I actually would like it to present the average here. And for me to do that, I need to create another variable that I am calling number of measurements or something like that. Like that. Oh, that doesn't matter. And then I would like this new variable to be changed by 1. So what will happen now is that I'm going to take the temperature in one of the corner. It's going to change the first variable that we call total temp to that current temperature. Then it's going to change the second variable that we named number of measurements by 1. So that is like 1 time. We took the temperature once here. Then on this side, I will no longer want to show the total temp. Instead, what I would like to do is that I will introduce math into this. So I go to math, I take this division, go back to variables, to total temp, go there. So total temp divided by the number of measurements, like that. Now let's see if this works. So I take the temperature once, I take 23 Celsius here, take it one more time. So now this variable should have the value of 2, and this should have 22. So that's correct. So here, what the students then have learned is, first of all, like doing an experiment. So they can go around into the different corners in one room, take the measurements, and then they can press the button B to display it. So even it looks very simple now on the microbit, and if we transfer it to the microbit itself, it's going to be also quite simple just to show it. But it's there is some thinking behind this, and this is actually exactly what we like the students to do and to experience. I will, for you that are attending here today, I am going to send this over to you as you have it. But it's very good start to just start with the simulator as this. Do we have any questions, Rasmus, or so? I cannot see the chat.
We do not at this point, but if anyone has a question, so feel free to ask them.
Yeah, I can give it a second or so. What I would like to show now is what you can do with Strawbees. So this is the microbit itself. You can get started with it in the simulator. It's a lot of different things that you can do with it, but it's a very nice device or mini computer. And what I would like to do now instead is that I am going to use this crane that I have here and try to code it with the microbit. Let's see here. So the crane that I have here, it has this device called robotic invention for the microbit. It comes from Strawbees. What it does is that it enables you to use servo motors like this one. So it gives you an extra sort of output that you can give to the microbit. And you have up to 3 different servo motors that you can attach to this robotic invention, this extension. So the first thing I would like to show you or do is that I'm adding the microbit in here like that. And then let's see, like connecting the microbit to it like that. And what is quite simple with this is that we at Strawbees has already created our own blocks. So if I remove all of this, it will make it much more easier to control the servo motors. Is that I go to extensions and I type in Strawbees, that, just adding this extension. And what is happening now is what is going to be displayed is that we have this one, the Strawbees block. So that is some blocks that we have created to make it much easier to code the servo motors. So I'm going to do a very simple type of, I am going to code this one now to move the servo motor up and down. So my task right now is like, when you're pressing the button A, the servo motor will go down, which will make this crane arm go up. And when I press in the button B, the crane arm will go down. So let's see, like I go to input, and this we already know by now. And then I go to here. Here we have a block called set servo A to a position of 50%. And then I go back here. And go to Strawbees. Set servo to B. Now I don't really know which one is going to be controlled, so that is up for me to figure out. So I just trying some different numbers here. So basically 0 is going to be something like this, and for the arm, the servo arm, and then 100% is going to be something like that. What I like to do is that I like to pair the microbit to each other. So I'm pairing my computer to the microbit by pressing the three dots that you saw there. Going to next. And then a computer has found that I connected the cable to the microbit, and done. So what I can do now is that I can first of all see if the simulator works. So pressing the A, then it's going to be moved like something like 20% there, and then B is going to on that level. So I'm down on this code. What is happening is that you're going to see that the microbit itself is blinking quite a lot, like that. And I really hope that this doesn't work because it's much more fun when it doesn't work. Let's see here. Oops. So let's see if it's going to work. Okay, it went down. So the other one, opposite what I said. Yeah, so it works. It works kind of nice also with the movements here. So this is some things that you can do. So this is really fun because the students are the one that are building this crane, and then they are going to figure out how to code it. We have all of this information on how to use Strawberries together with Microbit on Strawberries Classroom, and I can just take you there. Very quick. So I can show you. The last thing I would like to show you guys is Strawberries Classroom. So on Strawberries Classroom, you have the different lessons and activities that you can do. It's free to sign up at the moment until August next year. So please make sure that you sign in. Rasmus, you could send a link to Strawberries Classroom in the chat. Now on Strawberries Classroom, we have lessons. Let's go to we have lessons, activities, webinars that we have had. You as a teacher has the ability to create your own courses. So if I go into a lesson, I can start by showing that. We can take the crane that I just showed. So this is the teacher view, what the teacher will see. And we also have a student view, meaning that you as a teacher, you can copy this link and share it to that student. You can also add it to Google Classroom as well. And you just start a lesson, and it's a complete lesson about the crane automation. And you as a teacher will have a much more information about the course itself, and have answers to questions that is being asked. And eventually you will end up in the build section where the students are going to build. So then you have the full, like this, you have the full step-by-step guides on how to build this one here, the crane, and also on how to code it. That's quite fun. It's very, very fun. Let's see here. So we have only one more minute left to go here. Is there anyone that has any questions so far? Feel free to ask them right now. I can stop sharing. Let's see here. Fanny's question. Has Fanny written anything? You have already answered that. Yes, you can make different sounds to different temperatures. That you can do. I hope you like this webinar, and make sure now that you go to Make Code and try this for yourself, the Microbit, and then make sure that you sign up to Strawberries Classroom so you have the full access to it until the paid version comes out. So make sure that you sign up at this right now. And we are looking forward to you join us once again for new webinars that is coming up. So I think that is it. Thank you much, so Colleen as well. Yes, try it with the students, really do it. And I will share the thing with the template there so that you can calculate the average one as well. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Jan. It's going to be lovely to see it. So please share it and also tag us so we can see you guys. Thank you, Fanny. Okay, I think that is everything for now. Take care and have a lovely wherever you are. It's night here in Sweden. and a storm outside. Take care. Thank you so much, Rasmus.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.